watching KSL Sports Live.
It's got to be up there, man. Best rivalries in the country. In my experience, being in it, it is.
Another chapter in the BYU-Utah rivalry has now been told. Stevenson Sylvester was down on the field for all of it. He's here. We've been waiting all night for this. Can't wait to hear what SLY has to say about it. What a game. Just another, as I said, another chapter in this rivalry that you were a part of. Let's start with BYU, because that first half, they were in trouble. Utah was up big at half. They had to make some adjustments, and give them credit, they did.
Yeah, I mean, Utah had the momentum at the moment. At halftime, it was kind of like, don't lose this. This is a special opportunity. But BYU, as they have been all season, is resilient, especially coming out in the second half. I'm telling you, whatever they're doing at halftime, it's that elder juice. It's kicking in. And these guys are making all the necessary adjustments. They came out with new energy. They came out with new focus. So Kalani's speech at halftime, whatever he's got those guys playing right coming out in the second half.
Okay, well, we're going to have to do this, Sly, but we got to talk about the end of the game and the way it ended as well. Obviously, it brought out a lot of emotion from Coach Whittingham, from Mark Harlan, the holding call. We saw Utah celebrating. Looked like they had won that game for a moment there, but then the flag came in, the call was made, and that gave BYU an extra life.
Yeah, well, so this play is interesting, right? One, there's physicality on the defensive side of the ball, especially the defensive backfield, throughout this entire season. The problem is the consistency of when it's called, right? And so it's like, what are you teaching or telling your defenders on how to guard these receivers? How are they supposed to do it on a consistent basis? And there's always a saying, you don't let the referee's call determine the end of the game, right? And in this case, it did, right? You let the play on the field determine the end of the game, especially when the play had nothing to do with what was going on or determining. The pressure had got there. Reslov didn't even see the receiver. It didn't have any malice on the play. So for me, I just thought it was a terrible, terrible call.
By the letter of the law, he did hold him.
Yeah.
What you're saying is, you can make that call the entire game.
On any play.
Why did they make it in that moment? That's the issue.
Yeah, I mean, even on that play, you can literally probably go to all the other positions on the field and probably find a holding call. You know, I had an offensive player come up to me one time. He's like, hey, was that holding? And I'm just like, you can call holding on any play. Yeah. It's just dependent on when the referee wants to call it. And that's what I mean by at the end of the game, you don't let the referee determine how the game is ended. You let the play on the field determine how the play was ended. In Utah, you know, that was like 5 different plays at the end of that game for that series with the timeout, the 4th down, and now they had to play again. They were exhausted just from celebrating because they thought it was over. And so at that point, BYU had a little bit of a momentum going into that, and they hit the deep pass to Chase Roberts, which was a great catch in the moment. I'm like, that's not a catch, but he did a great job of bringing that in.
All right, real quick, what does this mean for the future of the rivalry? Feels like it's back, right? Yeah. They're going to play every year. This is fuel to the fire.
All I want to know is I hope there is nobody out there saying that this doesn't mean anything. This was huge. 54,000 people at the stadium yesterday. You felt it every single moment from the jump all the way to the end. Everybody was locked in. Besides the loss for me, it was absolutely amazing. If you like football, that is exactly how you want it to happen and how we've thought this rivalry was going to happen anyway. So I love that it's reignited and love that it's reignited in the Big 12.
And I think, Sly, moving forward, it's going to be a big focus on the national stage.
Sure. Yes.
After all the controversy, if both these teams are ranked next year on the Power 4 stage, this is going to become a national thing.
For sure.
Sly, thanks so much. Appreciate it.